Yeah.
Another testimony or like what God spoke to me was when I during the process of pursuing Courtney.
Yeah.
So after pursuing her for 2 years, we're still not officially in a relationship yet. So I was like, God, I really need you to tell me, to continue to pursue this person or probably give up, but either way, I know you have the best plan for me.
Yeah.
I know you have the best plan for her. I don't know, back then I was saying, well, I don't know if this is the best plan or like to you, it's the best plan for us, right?
Yeah.
If not, that's fine. I know you love me. I know you love me. I know you have the best plan for me.
Yeah.
So either way, it's okay. I just want you to share a little bit about your thoughts.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think about this?
Yeah, Father, what do you think? Give me some hints.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way, I'm okay. And then God gave me dreams for 15 nights straight. 15 nights. Every night. It's definitely not the random dreams. You know that's, random dreams or not, right? So every night, like 2 or 3 o'clock, I had a dream and then I woke up very clear.
Yeah.
Like I remember everything, all the details.
Wow.
And then write it down.
That's so awesome.
Even one picture, one dream that God gave me made a cornea on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
And instantly knew that's the image of when both of us were 40s. Yeah, she's 35 now. But back then when I had a dream, she was only 27 or something.
Wow.
25, yeah.
Yeah.
So that God gave me the picture of, when we're 40s. So God just gave me those confirmations and encouraged me to continue to pursue her, even move back to China for her.
You made it out of China, then you went back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so awesome. Even if, for people who maybe aren't as, involved or don't have a faith, I would encourage you, explore it. Ask God to show up, he will. And the same way that God showed up to Paul, he'll or Saul, he'll show up to you. But having a reason why and knowing, whether it be in faith or business, it gives you a foundation to be able to go back to and say, have the facts changed? And if the facts haven't changed, then you should just continue on. It's like, me and my son talk about this sometimes in business, and it's, he's like, well, what about this idea? And what about that idea? Which is great. Like that's the season he's in.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, what's changed? Why was the last idea not a good idea? And if it's no longer a good idea because of something you've discovered, then that's great. We've eliminated an option.
Yeah.
But unless the situation has changed or the understanding has changed, then just stay consistent, stay faithful, and just keep doing the thing over and over again. Because, like even with Courtney, it's like, you just have to she wants to know that she's the most valuable thing and that you're pursuing her. If 6 weeks into it, you're like, oh, okay, whatever, I'm going to go. And she's like, well, she doesn't want to get 6 years into it and be like, okay, I'm done. So that's an awesome story. I love hearing when God just makes things clear, and it's not always that way, but when it is clear, man, it's just nice because it makes you just like buckle down and go, oh no, I'm going after this.
Exactly. So you have a beautiful family.
Yeah.
So what's your dreams? What's your dream for your family?
Oh, wow. So I'll start with my wife. We've always made a priority of protecting our time together. And we've been on a journey. Like she had a rough go of it with her biological father. She was adopted, at like 16. And so, talked about my story, my dad dying when I was 14, both of our parents divorced from, our birth fathers. And so one of my primary goals is just make it, just, get to the other side and say, well, man, that's not a big lofty goal, but it is, when you come from generational, breakdown of relationships and families and things like that. And we've made big mistakes and we've had to fix those and we've had to clean up messes. And so it's not always been clean. It's not always been pretty, but we're not willing to stop. And so we'll have those conversations and it's like, I'm like, are you leaving? No. Okay. I'm not leaving. So let's move on and let's find a solution because we're going to do what's required. We're going to do the hard thing. And that's become like our funny thing. It's like, are you done? Because I'm not done. Okay. All right. Let's move on. And so at the simplest level, it's just like, just get through life happy, and, together and demonstrate to our kids what it looks like to fight for what's important. And what's important is having a healthy marriage. And that includes having time together, taking vacations together. And, our kids may not get, every little thing they want. And we don't let them dictate to us what our life looks like, because me and her need to make sure that we're good. And so our kids have a great life. They have nothing to complain about. But so that's my number one priority. And I've done really well at that in some seasons, and I've failed miserably in other seasons at that. Additionally is, there's things that we want. Just, for me personally, I want to give my kids a good jumping off spot. And we're kind of getting, like, my son's already kind of jumping off, and my daughter's getting to that. And obviously I look back, there's maybe more that I wish I could have done more. And hopefully my kids will even be able to do more for their kids. So I'm honestly kind of getting to the place where I'm like getting excited about grandkids, I will be so excited about that, and be able to like teach my grandkids how to ski and take them camping and just spend time with them. So that's an aspect. I really want a strong family core where, we have fun around the holidays, and we have fun just doing life together. We go on vacations together, and everyone loves everyone, and it's not the lack of, it's not like, oh, I just want everyone to be happy, but I just want it to be strong, where when there is conflict, we address it, we deal with it, and we have a strong, passionate relationship with our kids, our in-laws, when they get married. And so that's really important to me. And I'll say my mother really demonstrated that well. She demonstrated the value of family. Even though my mom and dad were separated when my dad passed away, she's still very close to my grandmother on my dad's side. And she actually will bring my grandmother out here with her. She really demonstrates what it is to value family and value her father and her stepmother. And so, my mom is a key part of that. Yeah. And then as far as for my kids, what I want for them is, I just want them to be successful. And success doesn't mean, I tell my son, I was like, he wants like a fast car and this and that. I was like, that's awesome. Like, like I want you to have all those things, but that's not what I'm looking at to gauge success. I don't care how many supercars you have. If you have some supercars, I'm coming over and we're going to drive them. But what is success is you having a good marriage, and you being a good father. And the same thing's true for my daughter, is you having a good marriage, and you being a good mother, and you doing what is required to raise a good family. And that's the most important thing.
Right. I believe one thing, the family, each, family unit is the fundamental unit of this economy, of this society,
100%
on this country, right?
Yeah. You can look at statistics and stats on that, and two family households are just going to do better. There's some, you could get into spiritual reasons about that, or you could just talk about simple economics and, responsibilities and things like that. Raising kids is not easy. And so having help is helpful.
Raising kids almost kind of like the hardest thing for me in my life so far, like compared to, school or doing business, whatever. Yeah.
100%. Because you're dealing with a personality. Yeah. I mean, you're dealing, like, in a business, I can tell the people that are working for me, this is what's required and this is what you're doing. Yeah. Do this or don't work.
Right.
I can't tell my son, do this or you're not my son. And I will tell him, like, when I'm trying to navigate a difficult situation, or, he has a different opinion, which happens often, with kids. And I just say, hey, like, I'm responsible for this, and there's no handbook, and I've never done this before. So I'm going to do the best I can, and I'll pay for your counseling.
Yeah. I feel like, marriage and raising kids are kind of the two of the hardest things, but also at the same time are the two kind of like the most rewarding things in my life.
Yeah, most important thing.
Yeah, most important things, most rewarding things.
Yeah.
That give me the most joy. And even though it's not easy many times. No. And also I feel like through the process, to me personally, to each person, to a husband or wife, it's just a process of learning more about yourself, and just an opportunity to be a greater person.
No, I mean, it's, again, you can kind of look at it from like just like a physical, like, separated from Christianity. And then you can also look at it, within Christianity. There's just so much going on there, right? It's like you have two people who have two different personalities most of the time, two different perspectives, and you're trying to merge those and do one specific thing, raise kids, start a business, run just a cohesive household. Someone that I've followed that I like, some of the stuff he talks about around this is Jordan Peterson. And he talks about, just being intentional. And that's part of, I kind of knew that I needed to, my wife, Jordan Peterson has put a lot of language around things that we were already doing and language around things that I thought were true. It's like, that's a very good way of saying it. And it made it good because it just made it easier to explain to one another and then also explain to other people. And so being able to sit down and have a conversation about like, hey, what's your schedule this week? What's going on? All right. So that's like a household kind of business meeting, right? Like we're discussing the inner workings of our family, who has practices, who has birthday parties and all that kind of stuff. And then we go out on a date too. And we just get to enjoy one another and we get to have fun. And so having both aspects of those each week to us has been really helpful. Yeah, it's difficult when it's just hard sometimes. And you just have hard seasons too, right? Like you could have a season where I'm just grumpy, and she's grumpy, and you just got to push through and get.
I've never seen grumpy.
Yeah, perfect. I'm never grumpy.